All right, guys, we are back with some new polling information. So this is from Ipsos, and I got to be honest with you. The polling is getting a little bit sketchy these days. Of course, we were expecting a little bit of a liberal bump. We've seen insane polls like Ecos and even the Ontario federal polling from Main Street that seems a little bit out of whack. Well, Ipsos, I'm not sure what their credibility is. I've heard mixed things about them, but I mean, listen, the Conservatives still have a big lead. But this poll is showing that the Liberals are at 28%. Now, what's interesting is when you read about this poll, it says this federal poll was fielded by Ipsos in February 2025, with a middle field date of February 1st, 2025. The poll collected data from a total sample of 1,000 Canadian respondents via an online panel. That's a new one for me. Now, again, I know most of you who've responded in the comment section to my polling videos continually tell me that none of you have ever been invited to a poll before. And the reason that is because most people don't have landlines. Well, this one was an online panel, so like, who are they sending people like via email? People who are registered? I don't know. I've never received anything online, and we've all got the internet, so I'm not sure why most people still aren't getting these samples. But this is a little bit shady to me. And it says the margin of error for an online sample is not applicable. For comparison purposes, a random sample of this size would yield a margin of error of about 3 points, 19 times out of 20. Okay. Now again, if this does have an error of 3 points, the Liberals are at 25, Conservatives are at 44. Which is probably right around where they are right now because of this, false liberal hope that they have going on. So I would imagine this is a little bit of a this is a little bit of a push, in my opinion, that the Liberals are at 28%. I don't believe that for a second. The Conservatives are above 41%. Now, when we break it down, though, by gender, I mean, even the females are still at Conservative. It's getting closer. But if you're the Liberal Party and you're losing to the Conservatives via the female vote, you're in big trouble. So you're not going to win the male vote. I mean, gee, look at the NDP at 12% among males. Good job, guys. But I mean, it's still like, even if this poll ends up being somehow accurate, Conservatives still get a majority. They didn't put out an actual seat count, but 41% is going to get you a majority. Boomers, 32%. 18 to 34, their support went down a little bit to only 35%, where they were in the 40s before. But again, 18 to 34-year-olds, especially closer to the 18, 19, 20, they're moving out. Now they got to pay bills, they got to get groceries. And every time it seems to happen, they seem to get a little bit pissed off because, well, why is everything costing so much? I heard stories from my uncles, my aunts, my parents, and how, you can go and get a full-time job and go rent an apartment and have some money left over. And probably have a car. When I moved out of my mom's house when I was 19, in Hamilton, I didn't live in Hamilton, but in Hamilton, you can get a one-bedroom apartment for like $400 or $500. And it wasn't that hard to get a job making $18, $19 an hour. So you're basically paying about 20 to 25%, depending on what you make, of your income. Well, now you're going out and you're finding that these one-bedroom apartments are $1,400, $1,500, and wages have basically been stagnant. So yeah, sometimes the Liberals, maybe they're staying at home or they're in university. They don't understand the real world yet. Too busy being indoctrinated by their paid-for college or university. So maybe they don't understand yet. But when they get out and they start to understand, most of them will go conservative. Because they miss a time where the middle class was thriving. They miss a time where they can go outside and not have to worry about getting, harassed, let's just say that. Violent crimes on the rise. Everything that's bad has gone worse amongst this liberal leadership, and there's no way Mark Carney's going to come in here and just, okay, the Liberals are going to go back up. The last poll that was released before Trudeau resigned had them at like 18%. And they've prorogued government. Carney hasn't even won yet, and that's showing a 9-point push? At least in the 18 to 34-year-old? I don't think so. Federally, that would be a 10-point push. There's no way. Now, maybe that wasn't really 18. Maybe it was really around 20 still. Nothing has happened to make these numbers go up for the Liberals like this. So again, maybe this one was online. Maybe some of you guys got them. But I've never received any polling. I don't even know how you'd go about it. But this one, considering it says the margin of error is not applicable, this seems a little bit sketchy to me, and that the Liberal number is probably overinflated here. But again, if it's not like this is an Ecos poll showing that it was somewhat close. It's still 13 points for the Conservatives, so I'm not worried. There's nothing that Mark Carney can do to make me get worried unless he, pulls something funny, which a lot of you have mentioned in the comments, although I don't think he's going to. I think it's a little bit too big to rig, if you know what I mean. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think this Liberal number at 28 is real? Do you think it'll stay that way? Or do you think they're going to go back down to reality into that low 20 percentile, which is what I think they're actually going to get when the actual election happens? Please don't be shy. I really enjoy engaging with you guys. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps grow the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back shortly with a new video.